Right, hi Reddit. This is basically just the rundown of the advisor I made for Blackjack. So this is obviously the folder that you download. You'll get given a README. Obviously, this is for I'm trying to market it online just to get a little bit of extra change in my pocket for my next project. So this is for people who are genuinely using it for the use case. Um, I've got support and stuff, and just a rundown of how to do it, where to buy the key, and stuff like that. It's just basic information about it. But more technical, we have a public key in the file. Obviously, these two, the advisor and the public key, have to stay in the same folder for it to verify the license key. When you open up the advisor, it's basically going to ask you to enter your license key, which you chuck in. It's going to say verify, license verified. And then this is the main software, so you can add hands, you can remove hands, you can split hands, and yeah, we'll just give it a basic go. So let's say on your first hand you get a 10 and a 4, and the dealer pulls a 6. Your second hand you'll get a 8 here, and let's say we get a 5 here. Based on very basic blackjack logic, it's gonna give you basic advice on what to do. Now, this was more of an easier development than a lot of the other things. I think the running count was very difficult to create because I had it. Oops. I had it fine running, but when I'd click new round, it would reset a lot of the time, which is something that I didn't want it to do. But anyway, testing back the logic, let's say we get a 10, we get a 4, and we get a 6. So the running count is obviously 1. You have your -1 there, 0 plus 1. Then let's say you get an 8, which is a neutral 0, running count doesn't update. And then a 5 is going to bring your running count to +2. Um, let's say your dealer pulls a 10 and then he pulls another 10, it's going to come out and say dealer has bust. And as well, the running count does update with dealer hands. Another thing I want to show people is the split feature. So let's say we get a 10-10 against, it doesn't really matter, a 4. You split, it's going to open it into two separate things, and it will automatically update as well. So let's say on your first split you pull a 4, it's going to tell you to stand. On your second split you pull a jack, it's going to tell you to stand. And then you pull again, watching the running count, let's say you pull a queen and an ace, and then a 9, which is a bust. It will work like that. So this is kind of just something I've developed. Again, if you've read the post, you'll see I'm looking at other things to develop. But I thought this was pretty cool for my second ever project. I'm quite proud of it. The one thing I did leave this project, because I do give myself 14 days for each project. So the one thing that I did leave this project a bit disappointed in was the difficulty of how hard it was to create a sort of a more modern, interesting UI. Obviously, the UI is very basic at the moment. So I think that was one thing I really struggled with, was making a like more modern, intriguing UI, which is something I'm looking to do. I did try to use custom tinter, but I struggled a lot with basically how it was coming out. It was messing around with the layout as well. Buttons were being moved and stuff. So just for the time's sake of this project, I left it very simple. And another thing I thought I did pretty well on was the size of the UI. Obviously, if you're running this alongside a like your gambling website, whether it's Stake, Greenbet, or you're using Betfair or something online, you can literally just have it in the corner. You can play your hands and pull it up whenever you need to. If it's in this corner, quickly input. Um, Literally, you'll have your cards in front of you. Whatever you need to input, you can input it, and you'll get basically what you need to get out of it. So yeah, that's kind of my little rundown on this project. Again, if anybody wants to, I don't know, support or whatever, I'll leave a link to the store below where you can purchase a key. Again, please don't expect it to be perfect because it is my second ever project, but it's just for um, basic use and basically for me to be able to fund my next project.